Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. The time is always right to do what is right. Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. True peace is not merely the absence of tension. Peace is the presence of justice. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. Forgiveness is not an occasional act, it is a constant attitude. The quality of your life is determined by your commitment to excellence. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. Nothing in all the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. A genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus. We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. Every man must decide whether he will walk in the light of creative altruism. We are not makers of history. We are made by history. Oppressed people cannot remain oppressed forever. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. A right delayed is a right denied. The ultimate tragedy is not the oppression and cruelty by the bad people, but the silence over that by the good people. Change does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability. It comes through continuous struggle. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. We must build dikes of courage to hold back the flood of fear. There comes a time when silence is betrayal. Shallow understanding from people of good will is more frustrating than absolute misunderstanding from people of ill will. We must use time creatively, knowing that the time is always ripe to do right. We must concentrate not merely on the negative expulsion of war, but the positive affirmation of peace. The hope of a secure and livable world lies with disciplined nonconformists. He who passively accepts evil is as much involved in it as he who helps to perpetrate it. Nonviolence is a powerful and just weapon. It cuts without wounding and ennobles the man who wields it. Means we use must be as pure as the ends we seek. We must pursue peaceful ends through peaceful means. The past is prophetic in that it asserts loudly that wars are poor chisels for carving out peaceful tomorrows. Power without love is reckless and abusive. Love without power is sentimental and anemic. Justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands against love. I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. Let no man pull you so low as to hate him. Whatever your life's work is, do it well. A man should do his job so well that the living, the dead, and the unborn could do it no better. If a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep streets even as Michelangelo painted, as Beethoven composed music or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will pause to say, "Here lived a great street sweeper." We must not allow our creative protest to degenerate into physical violence. We must rise to the majestic height of meeting physical force with soul force. We must develop and maintain the capacity to forgive. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. There is some good in the worst of us, and some evil in the best of us. When we discover this, we are less prone to hate our enemies. Returning violence for violence multiplies violence, adding deeper darkness to a night already devoid of stars. We must meet hate with love. We must see the evil deed of the enemy, but not hate the person. Every step toward the goal of justice requires sacrifice, suffering and struggle, and the tireless exertions of dedicated individuals. Human progress never rolls in on wheels of inevitability. It comes through the tireless efforts of men willing to be co-workers with God. And without this hard work, time itself becomes an ally of the forces of stagnation. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. We must rapidly begin the shift from a thing-oriented society to a person-oriented society. A nation that continues year after year to spend more money on military defense than on social uplift is approaching spiritual death. We must learn that passively to accept an unjust system is to cooperate with that system. Law and order exist for the purpose of establishing justice. And when they fail in this purpose, they become the dangerously structured dams, blocking the flow of social progress. We must build bridges of understanding and not walls of division. The limitation of riots is that they cannot win, and their participants know it. Violence as a way of achieving racial justice is both impractical and immoral. It is impractical because it is a descending spiral ending in destruction. It is immoral because it seeks to humiliate the opponent rather than win his understanding. We must see the need for nonviolent coexistence or face violent co-annihilation. All labor that uplifts humanity has dignity and importance and should be undertaken with painstaking excellence.